Today's quote is kind of the sequel to yesterday's quote. Today is December 8th, and I'll read the quote. Never run from what you need to do to grow. The more you resist facing your demons, and the more uncomfortable they make you feel, the more certain you can be that this is where you need to work. There's the saying, whatever you resist, persist. And what's interesting is often, if not always, what we resist dealing with is the very thing we most need to deal with it. And we don't deal with it because it's painful. Painful either emotionally or painful because we think, I can't deal with it, I'll fail at it. And we don't like to fail. We'd rather be successful at something that doesn't really help us than fail in trying to do something that we really need to do. So, big lesson that I've learned is that if you run away from a problem, although this is common sense, we don't all get it. If you run away from a problem, you can never solve it. The solution to the problems, you have to run into it directly. And intuitively, we all run away from difficulties. We don't run into our problems. So that's why we resist. And what we resist keeps persisting, because that persistence is like a little signal saying, hello, you need to deal with this. Anyway, this saying is it's just a little note to say that whatever you're resisting to work on, whatever, or sometimes your husband or wife can say, you really need to work on this, or you need to do this, even maybe just a chore. But whatever it is that you're resisting, the reason you're resisting is because it's actually something that's really important for you to work on. So if you can understand that and deal with it, and then when you resist things, you start to realize that actually these are the things that Krishna is showing me, the things I really need to work on. So why not today pick something that you've been resisting working on and just work on it and see what happens. And you'll find that working on it is a lot easier and less painful than you might think. One of the interesting things about this resistance is usually we resist something because of fear of the discomfort or the pain that we're going to experience doing it. And oftentimes, if not always, that fear is unfounded. And we're afraid that we'll suffer. And most things we're afraid of we've never done before. So how could we even know that we'll suffer? We don't. So fear is often a belief that we can't handle a situation, and the situation that we can't handle is a situation we've never tried to handle. Interesting thought, isn't it? A situation we can't handle is a situation often we've never tried to handle, so how would we know we can't handle it? And fear is often a belief that I can't handle a situation. So if you think you can't handle a situation, there's one way to know. Try to handle it and see what happens. And most of the time you realize that was a lot easier than I thought. Hare Krishna.